Straightened kickoff, taking their time in building this play. It looks like a EVEFUL situation where defenders will play the ball immediately into the opposition half to try and put them in the immediate pressure. Everton this time instead taking the time in the build-up. And Barry with the first chance of the first half. Way it goes by Burton Leno out to the right hand side. It's Hessel. Guess they can't get a hold of possession though, and it goes down to play for an Everton throw in. Michael Co up to take this inside of Paul's half on his left hand side. Upton's down the line, goes towards Jack Grealish, who isn't made please down that left hand side, and it's taken a touch by Tete up towards Raul Jimenez. It's off inside for Wilson, gets the return ball, but his first touch is too heavy and it's intercepted by Garner out on the right hand side. And plays it inside for Iro Adbunam. Now for Element and Jai, Adbunam on the right hand side, looking at Jai's making the overlapping run, but instead it's brought inside by the Everton midfield. Then across it goes to Idrissa Gana Gueye, now out left for Michael Enko. And the line to Grealish, first to pass inside, followed by Njai. Back into his own mark near to Tarkovsky. Now work to Garner. Over the top down that right hand side. Controlled ball by Barry on the edge of the area. Brings it back now for Njai. And he wrote Boodham. There's a space go on the edge of the area for Grealish. Starts to take the shot. He doesn't. Instead he gives it to Michael Enko. Then back out to Grealish by the touchline on the left hand side. Cross comes in towards the middle. Headed away as far as the Red Boodham, but it's not further away by Alex Wallaby. They just kept in play on that left hand side by Michael Enko. Takes the ball away from Michael Keane and goes all the way back to Jordan Pickford just on the edge of his area. We're present in the Premier League for Everton this season on the 2 clean seats in the 10 games so far. That's something we expect to see from the day they boys decided it isn't so big defensively. Fine build up in the back was at the start of this as well. 4 minutes into the game, Everton 0, Fulham 0. Eduardo's joining us. Thank you for choosing Flash News, your unofficial coverage of the Premier League this Saturday afternoon. Keeping you up to date with the game between Everton and Fulham, of course, at Edinburgh, West Ham and Burnley. And we'll also do the quiet state game between Sunderland and Arsenal. And of course, the 8 PM game, the late window, if you will. Chelsea play host to bottom of the league. Wolves still with a free kick just inside their own half as a giant run straight into the back of Calvin Bassey. Out in front of the linesman. There's no hesitation and waving the flag, and the referee has to support. Free kick given. Switched over from Sessegnon to the right hand side, but again Tete can't get to it, and it's with another Everton blowing inside of Fulham's half on the left hand side. Again taken by Michael Enko. Over it by Keane. Keane on the left hand side to Grealish, lays this off inside and chance here for Everton. A chance for Barry, but a well-timed tackle from Calvin Bassey just keeps it in play as well. Yes, the clearance on just before he gets to Jack Grealish, and there's a chance for maybe Fulham to make a break, but Raul Jimenez can't escape down that right hand side and runs out to Brutus. Giving another throw into Everton, but will unbreak good play with Idrissa Gana Gueye down on the ground at the moment, holding on to his nose. He received a hit there. He did flash of heads down that left hand side. As the referee didn't put a halt to play down with a head injury. And Barry making that run through the middle again with a chance in creative for Everton. Grealish just carried on and played to the whistle. Fulham appeared to start. Up on Everton going at the moment over the top by Michael Enko. Headed away by Sander Berg. Out to the right hand side with Wilson. Sanders out on possession to Michael Enko. Inside to Road Boonham, out to Garner, going down the right for Njai on the edge of the area at the moment for Everton. Good side, left foot to cross in towards the middle and headed just over by Barry. And it'll be a goal kick now to Fulham. Another chance for the host that can't be taken. And they've stepped things up slightly. Par with points in the last 5 games with Liverpool, but that only leaves them 3rd worst in the Premier League in the form book. So the Barry just slid to that header and so the crossbar. Thought pass out to Parksy. Parksy up to Jimenez. Just to the outside of his boot to his left hand side for Cesar, and he can't get to it. Inside service it on the right hand side, and as Fulham are trying to utilise the width on this field at the moment, they're not really maintaining the possession, and you can see the disappointment from Marco Silva, just looking at how his side are too cheaply given possession back to Everton. As soon as they get him, or they're playing it out to the wing, but the fullbacks aren't able to control the ball and keep it in play. Now they've sent it back to Lochim Anderson. No, send it out again, back to Anderson, out left to Passy. He takes his time to for a gentle stroll towards the halfway line. There's no pressure coming from Tiano Barry. There's Bassey out to his left hand side to Sessegnon. There's the ball back in the idiot lane. Goes inside to Anderson. Anderson's first touch past the Lukic. Can't keep right hand side and pipes some space here for Wilson. Let's go back towards the north though. A down pushing forward at that point. Tete now inside to Anderson and across to Bassey with more space to go. Silvert's out to his left hand side and finds Sessegnon. And now it's Kevin. Kevin can't get the cross in and then just get possession under control. Ball pass there though, and Sessegnon's got a job to keep it in play. And it is to do so. Those back to Anderson inside of Paul's half at the moment. Over the top from Anderson to the right hand side, but now by Iwobi. Under pressure, passes it through the middle. Sanderberg free to the breakaway now for Fulham. Takes it to the edge of the area, out to his left hand side. There it is at the moment with Terry, brings it up to his right, but across the middle it goes. There's nobody there. Wilson will keep it in play, and it is still with Fulham in the ascendancy at the moment, and now Tete on the edge of the area. Back to Wilson, towards halfway line. Followed by Lukic, and now Anderson, back to Lukic. Now inside the Bird. And the Bird on the edge, chipped over to his left hand side, plenty of space here to Sessegnon, goes down by Garner. Sessegnon in onto his right, cross from Did towards the middle, head away by Michaelenko as far as the edge of the area. It's further away by Grealish. He'd been tackled made by Lukic. Get a free kick on the edge of his own area. And late challenge where Lukic, I think, was just swiping to have a shot on goal, whereas the ball was headed clear. That's the first real chance from Fulham to get the ball into the box. They do tend to try and face something from them wide areas with crosses into the box. It's quite a common thing with sides working their way into the area, but Fulham found it shots on goal at the moment. Trying to build some confidence, build some momentum against this Everton side. Picked it out through the right hand side now for Tarkowski. And that's a Pickford just inside of the area at the moment. And to his left is Michael Keane, still offering some support. Plays it across to Keane. Feed him inside to Dewberry Moore, back to Pickford. The spread just played forward to Barry. Nice little layoff from Barry. They've been made by Dewberry Moore. He's being tripped and it's a free kick around about 25 yards out, a dangerous position. And the first yellow card of the afternoon has been issued. It's gone to the return and Sasha Lukic into the starting lineup. It's well, a bit by Barry, just nubbing this ball on for Dewberry Moore, straight into his path, and Lukic has got his arms all around the Everton attacker. Still with a free kick now, with players moving up from the back trap for a cross into the area with Gunn. James Tarkowski, Michael Keane making the presence felt on the edge of the area. That's as high as the line is for Fulham at the moment. Garner still over this free kick. Has got Dewsbury Hall to his left, Breeze further over. Nobody else in that area to take the free kick, so I guess it is going to be Garner that perhaps could send this goalwards. Steps up the flags over the ball towards the top corner, and it's turned away by Leno, and it's going to be a corner for Everton. It's the first corner of the afternoon. It's the first real save that's been forced by the goalkeeper. 10 minutes into this game, it's up and over the wall and towards the top corner, maybe a couple of yards out of it, make it to the top corner, and it's only turned behind by Leno. Still distant. A very good effort from Garner. Swinging corner from Garner now goes into more the 6-yard box, headed away and down by Dewsbury Moore. I'm going to shut away at the moment. Looks for the overlapping run there from Milliman and Jai on the edge of the area. Takes it towards the corner flag, can't get his cross in, but the flag goes up now. The referee's pulled a fault to play with Anderson down inside of the area with a head injury. It was Anderson that may have collided with Tarkowski as the trailing arm from James Tarkowski. It just caught the side of the brace of Fulham centre back. Will be no physio required, as Tarkowski's just discussing with the referee there. It was nothing intentional. They'll move back towards Everton's half. Physio has been called on. Anderson still not back to his feet. He is sat in an upright position at the moment. Martin Silva's just issued fairly as the couple of his players is called over to the touchline just to try and settle things down. They have started the nervier of the two sides of Fulham. Everton certainly the better in the opening 12.5 minutes. Just reminded me of the early game finish Tottenham 2 at Manchester United 2. Doesn't have much of an impact on the league standings between both Everton and Fulham, except for the fact that in the next game, just after the international break towards the back end of the month, Everton will be making a trip to Old Trafford. David Moyes returns to the side that he left Everton for around 11 years ago. Anderson just receiving the big Craven is and appears to have a nosebleed, but can't remain on the field whilst there's his building. Initially short, maybe told that he's to leave the field at some point for some period of time. If that happens to be too long, then Marco Silva will have a decision he needs to make. I think the only real change there is that Timothy Castagne come on his place. Perhaps Tete or Sessegnon can move into a centre-back position. And this is still down at the road. The referee's got over to where the ball is conditioned with Illiman and Jide. Maybe explain the process and the next steps of what he's going to do once Anderson has left the field. His nose appears to now have been taped up. And Videos will leave the field with Anderson in tow. So for the moment, Fulham are down to 10 men. Everton are in possession just outside of the area on the right hand side. Rugby will drop the ball for Njai. Tarkovsky's keen off some inside of the area at the moment. Maybe for Anderson can rejoin the field, because he joined it straight to a position of where possession is at the moment. The cross from Garner's blocked, and it's going to be back off of the foot of Dewsbury Hall. They can't keep it in play now. They're throwing on the left hand side now for Fulham. It's going to be taken by Ryan Sessegnon. Lanso down the line, and then out to play by Adrusi down again. Inside about 10 yards further forward down the left hand side. Sessegnon again goes across to take, and if Lukic drops in, head centre back in place of Anderson whilst we wait for him to speak. If so he can rejoin the game. Third taken by Sessegnon, and now Anderson can rejoin the game and rejoins it back into his familiar right hand side of that centre back pairing. The ball is played over to Michaelenko. Now to Grealish. Across the middle to Tarkovsky. Over the top from James Tarkovsky on the right hand side. He's going to be chased down by Njai. He's up against Sessegnon, who has taken a touch, so he can't allow it to go out to play. Sessingham's clearance down the line. Remains in play for now. Garner gets there first, hits it towards Gay, and goes back to the road Buda. And there again, into his own half with Tarkovsky. Now out to Garner. He did it back for Tarkovsky, and that's Keane. He switches this on to his left hand side, but not enough on in. It's head away by Tete. Then Michaelenko hits it inside to Grealish, who can't get away from Sasha Lukic, and he's won back by Fuller. Out on the right hand side, gets tackled by Dewsbury Hall. Grealish now running down that left hand side up against Tete. He has to run on him, but decides to bring it back. Tete's arms all around him, but really won't be getting the free kick for it. Eventually they will. Tete continued to hassle the left winger on loan from Manchester City. After the vision to make miss me permanently come the end of the season. So inspired performances in signed into David Moyes' side on a temporary basis. So then the ball now out on that left hand side is Kieran Dewsbury Hall. It looks like it'll be a left foot across into the box. Again, Tarkovsky's forward as his team towards the back post. In he goes to Dewsbury Hall, headed away by Anderson. Back in the direction of Dewsbury Hall on that left-hand side. He keeps it in play by going back towards half to Garner. Gets it all the way back to Pickford. The out to his right-hand side gets his pass off to Roy Boudin. And then back to Pickford. As Everton regroup. There's the ball Emma from under his feet on that left-hand side, but he just can't keep it in play, and it's going to be a throw-in on the right-hand side for Fulham. Pickford puts the hand to apologise for the amount of distance he got on the clearance. Quite comfortably over the head of Jack Grealish and right to Michaelenko. The 7th saved by Virgil Anderson, throws it all the way back to goal deeper, and Leno gets to touchy side of his own area. To his left-hand side now for Bassi. Saved it to the edge of his area, now back to his right-hand side for Anderson. Anderson back to Leno. Now to Bassi, back to Leno. He's expecting Barry to go on what of the legwork at the moment as they're moving the ball around both the goalkeeper and the two centre-backs. They're out to Anderson. Now Dewsbury Hall will close him down. Anderson gets the ball away on that right-hand side. Michaelenko gets it up on the header to go all the way back for Jordan Pickford. Side of his own area, nearly trips on the ball as he tries to get it under possession and in control. Out to the right-hand side, Kadana. It's up towards Illiman Njai. He's chasing down with Bassi at the moment. Bassi gets there first and he's tripped, and Ikriki come here to the area. It's a slow back to his feet. Faka coming together of the enters of both of those players as that's the turn back, and he was tripped under 10. Certainly a free kick. Yellow card would have been a right decision in the end from Andrew Madley. As it goes now to Bassi. Inside to Lukic. Inside of woman's half at the moment and towards the halfway line inside of the centre circle. Now to Berg. Red on the right hand side for Goodison. Wilson there puts the ball, switches it across to Kevin on the edge of the area. As to go towards the touchdown limit is gone, has closed him down. Can now go towards the edge of the area, which will left to cross goes into the middle, is headed away by Tarkovsky. Only as far as the edge of the area. Sessignon gets another cross in towards Jimenez, headed away by Michaelenko this time, and the breakaway for Everton. It's stopped though by Harry Wilson, and he's back with George Anderson now. Back to Wilson, inside to Berg, now towards Stonewall to Bassi. See if actually right to Anderson, and now Sete, and Anderson. Watch to Bassi. Sip continues down the left-hand side. Now decessing run inside to Bassi, who's continued running forward, tries to beat Jolik Boudin and is equal to it and puts the challenge in. And there's towards to Fulham on the left-hand side now. Insisting on forward to take it. Throws it back towards his own half. Now with Anderson. Goes to Bassi. Stepping away from Bassi is Barry, as Bassi gets across in towards Jimenez, goes over him and with all the way through to Wilson, who's kept this in play. Wilson goes back to the edge of the area, Tekles goes in, headed goalwards this time, but controlled comfortably by Jordan Pickford, who waits for the pressure before picking this up. Now distributes it out to the right hand side, and Njai's got some space. He's now closed down by Bassi, he's looking against Bassi and Sessignon. Njai takes it to the edge of the area, can he get across in? Deflected behind by Calvin Bassi, and there's going to be a second corner for Everton, this time out on the right hand side. Njai goes back to the edge of the area. Everton players start coming forward again. And across in towards the middle. Michaelenko support James Tarkovsky, but he gave more space to Wilson, if anything. Now a bit more defending where it for Fulham to do. As the corner comes in, it's an out 20 corner, and the flag goes up to say that the ball went out and played before coming back in. And for their goal kick now to Fulham. Then Leno placed the ball on the 6-yard box. Got Bassi to his left hand side, Anderson to his right, and then the team got back and rebreathed. Away goes the goal kick up into Everton's half, away by Michael Keane, further on by Gay, lays his ball off now to Illiman Njai, but it's intercepted by Sessignon, who helps it all the way back to Leno and out to Anderson. Rush to Bassi. That's it back his side to Anderson on lead. Into the area now outright to Tete. Down the line he goes for it, will be. Keep this in play, but goes back to Tete. And some of that high press at the moment. Inside to Anderson, his bumps towards get outside of their own half. Across to Bassi. Bassi up towards the halfway line, through the middle. Controlled well by Iwobi. Now Kevin. Inside to Sunderberg. Beats his man and then he's tripped, but the referee gives advantages. He's immediately back to his feet, thinking forward with possession. Now with Tete. Inside it goes to Anderson and then out to the left hand side for Bassi. Bassi by the touchline. Kevin was this inside pass and Jai, but he can't get the pass off in this and sets it now by Garner. Garner inside to Gay. Gay comes away with the ball. The trade in hand catches the base of Willoughby, but the referee allows things to continue as Breeze now breaks away down the left hand side. Little beneath Tete at the moment, so he gets there ahead of Breeze as he tried to beat his man in those bumpy side to Anderson. Paul Clearance gives possession back to Everton. It's with Michaelenko. Those Saracen players. Barry is down at the moment, holding on to his ankle. I'm not sure if it was an off the ball incident or an incident that didn't complete any of the players. They played last. This check holding on. No Barry. Marco Silva again calling over multiple players to start a bit more of a discussion. Playing what's going on at the moment. I don't know, it just looks like he's in some discomfort. Still laid down at the moment. Both physios on. A couple of Everton players stood around him at the minute. At the substitution options have been slightly changed a bit better than done in his place. If he does need to leave that every Fulham player beside the goalkeeper totally surrounded Marco Silva. Just explaining things to multiple individuals and now size Ryan Sessegnon. Barry is back to his feet and little limp, he's making way to the touchline. Dungia comes from the physio towards David Boyce, so just setting the pace, he's able to continue. It's been a good lose for Everton supporters. Don't create the space in those talents, and where you can all the possessing to bring in through Horn and Jai and even Greeley. He's had to leave the field with the physio, just as Anderson did. 5 minutes previous, around 25 minutes into this game. The different main goalless between Everton and Fulham. It is between West Ham and Gremlin from this ground. Tete, he throws it to Lukic. He's looping ball over towards Jordan Pickford, allows things to get underway. Had to a side of the spec. The ball being played out by Michaelenko, and Everton will continue with possession. Inside that, Tuesday ball. John Jai. On the right hand side, the man being made by Njai. He's up against Bassi at the moment, fiddles this his side, but the outstretched leg of Bassi turns it behind for a corner. There'll be another corner to Everton out on the right hand side. And Thalkoski and Dean again making the way up from the back. But back for Fulham. At the moment, nobody in the 6-yard box. Interesting enough is Leno bitten area to play with, so you come out to try and collect the ball. He's running quarter on his way, and with the Dewsbury will take. Now plays moving towards the 6-yard box as the in-swinging quarter goes towards Leno. He's punched it away. The breeze on the edge of the area. So they're not to get across it. He's got support to his left-hand side in Garner. Basically across the middle instead. There for the same goal, Goodison. They've gone behind. Everton wants a corner, but the referee's given a goal kick. And the sets up poor and Jai, left-footed effort. Played across the face of goal. I think Leno may have had it covered. There's a gap there, but it saw its way through. Yeah, Leno would have had that covered, but it saw it behind. Got a goal kick anyway. Leno plays this out short to Anderson. Anderson is weak passes to Dewsbury, all it to Grealish. Grealish taking a hard knock on the edge of the area by Anderson, and a free kick to Everton. Zizic control of the ball, he laid it off to his left hand side, and he tried to gain possession back at Dewsbury more. Everton were in very good positions, maybe fourth Burnley into some action. It's interesting that the decision was to hold things up and give the free kick to Everton with advantage there. Especially with the referee not booking Anderson as a result. Free kick in a dangerous position at the moment. Garner stood over this Dewsbury Hall. When spotted to the area, I assume is the dove from Kane and Dewsbury Hall, but it's these shooting distance, something that Garner may fancy his chance from. He's much closer than ever before. One he had earlier for around about 26 yards out. This one, it says around 20, but it is slightly more to the left and not as direct through the middle. Garner will fancy his chance, whether he cedes the free kick to Dewsbury Hall. 3 men in the wall at the moment for Burnley now on the referee's whistle. He's Garner's the take. Through the middle it goes. He's taken a butt from Lukic. It's played away though, only as far as Garner still on the edge of the area. That's good with the crossing, but Tete gets there, and Tete's clearance off of Garner. Wins his side of throwing on the right hand side. And that's a free kick there. Merritt's done nothing of those, you dare say, to waste. Wasn't the greatest. The very tame effort from Garner around the wood. Hit away quite easily. Tete with the throw in. And the top it goes, led away by Tarkowski into the path of Harry Wilson, who unexpected coming his way, and his first touch has sent the ball sailing down the right hand side, and he can't get to it, and it's with Michaelenko. Now back to Pickford. The ball away, headed down by Lukic, and away by Gay. Well down now by Berg. Well back by Dewsbury Moore down the left hand side towards Grealish, but the ball is still out save in play, despite tiptoeing down the touchline. Away goes to Anderson towards Jimenez, and quite goes up for offside against the Fulham striker, and it will be a free kick to Everton that Michael Keane will go across to take. Both Tarkowski and now Dornan. Side to Gay, back to Dornan, and it turns away down the right hand side with the ball over the top. It's finishes down by Njai, gets there first, he's up against Massey again. Now to Barry. Barry gets tripped by the touchline. It will be a free kick to Everton. Held on the right hand side by the touchline. You see if they would be edge of the area. That's the distance they've got. The method is still to be take the bike in Dewsbury Hall. And Tarkowski and Dean. Then plays back for Fulham. Dewsbury Hall is the one that stood over this free kick. Greenish lurking on the edge of the area at the far side. That made a little bit difference, this free kick. I don't think I'm told in the opening half an hour of this day. After his whistle, Dewsbury Hall gets across in towards the middle. It's flicked on by Tarkowski, but away by Anderson, back in the direction of Dewsbury Hall. Now it's with Gay. I'm near to the area. Take this past one out to Njai. Plus in towards Tarkowski. It's headed away towards Gay, but then it's such a way, and that's the play of Fulham's lines. Did Michaelenko just decide he was over half, but he's to his right hand side for Dewsbury Hall. In the middle, find space here for Njai. But happy run. Cushman's in towards the middle. Very tries to get there, but no chances taken by Sasha Lukic, and it's the currency Everton on the right hand side. Goes Garner to tape. Was the tap to Jack Grealish. All the way back to the halfway on now to Tarkowski. So ball over to the left hand side. Who's headed down to Grealish. Grealish into the middle for Dewsbury Hall. Back towards Grealish. That perhaps a back heel from Tete. He turns position and it was like really well. Now with Wilson. Wilson out right travel to be. Side to Jimenez. All the continues just through Jimenez tries to hold it up, but it's won back by Everton through him, and a free kick being given against Everton for the challenge by Everton. So still with to the left-hand side for Sessegnon. Sessegnon has a breakaway down that left-hand side, takes to the edge of the area, across the middle, and is turned behind by Michaelenko. He had plenty of time, but couldn't have heard the call. Let's overlap and run, or underlap and run by Sessegnon over Fulham from the edge of the 6-yard box, where Michaelenko had plenty of space. Didn't expect him. Time will be to make could have rid of the far post. Not Harry Wilson, but nobody was there. Gambling or trying to capitalise on that. Totally corner on his way towards the back post, headed back inside by Anderson and headed behind by Michaelenko. It'll be the second consecutive quarter to Fulham, but they'll move out to the left-hand side for this one. And the corner on its way. Iswini corner this turn to be taken by Sasha Leafy. Everybody surrounding the 6-yard box at the moment is forward from Fulham, crossing towards the near post. He's headed away and further away from Tierno Barry, back into Fulham's half as Everton Mulberry group. Out comes Ben Leto to retrieve the ball just outside of the centre circle at his own half. Plays out left to Sessegnon, over the top towards Val Jimenez, headed on to Moby, inside the area, back to Jimenez, sent goalwards, held well by Pickford inside the 6-yard box, and away it goes with his left foot down the left-hand side towards Jack Grealish. He's got the run there on Tete, takes it to the edge of the area. He's got Barry in the box for support, onto his right foot, can't get across in, takes it back to the edge of the area now with Dewsbury Hall, onto his right foot, can't get the shot away, now to Ilabena driving towards the middle, and Barry converts. The flag goes up against Tierno Barry in an offside position. Everton thought they'd taken the lead for a moment, but the flag goes immediately up. I'll have a look at the replay just to determine if he was in an onside position or not. I think when the ball was flicked on, because the cross came in from the right-hand side, the initial cross, both Barry and Joy were in offside positions at the time of the cross coming in. That's a good decision by the linesman. And it'll be a free kick. So Fulham as we enter into the final 10 minutes of regular time at the end of this first half. The per-minute stoppages, of course, to the injury exposed Tierno Barry and George Anderson earlier on. And free kick taker short to Passy. Back to Leno. Leno through the middle for Lukic, and back to Leno again on the 6-yard box, out to his left-hand side to Passy. Everything's high press closing them down, but Passy gets throws away. Forward it goes, headed down by Garner. Catching play on the touchline on the right-hand side. Has to put the ball through to them at a jive, but it's turned behind the after a throw-in. And Dewsbury Hall out to Michaelenko. Michaelenko now to the Dusagana Gay, out to Grealish, who's had his shirt pulled by Tete. It'll be a free kick to Everton. In another dangerous position. As across comes Dewsbury Hall, and both him and Garner will, I expect, have a discussion on how to play this one. And here goes Clarkowski and Keane. Dewsbury Hall plays the shot to Garner. Garner across to the right-hand side for Njai on the edge of the area. Can he get his cross in? No, goes back to Garner again. He can get his cross in. His options in the middle, headed away by Anderson. Brought down by Lukic, and a free kick's being given against Everton. There's some shit pulling that is going on his side of the area. Vince like Buden. He's forming with Leno. So when he struck in there, he wants that bit more urgency from his goalkeeper, but the options weren't available to him. Another bit on the way. Underway by Tarkovsky, and out for what I thought was about to be a throw, but the referee's given a free kick instead. Saving the elbow on the head of Brown Eminence. It was unfair. And looking at the replay, it's a Craven on, and there's a big headgear that Raul Jimenez wears since his injury last season. And it's been not slightly, but he went up for that headed challenge, and it's going to be a free kick for Fulham, and Everton on the back foot with 8 minutes left to go in this first half. For the first time in this first half on the back foot. And Berg's one of the players that stood over this free kick, plays a shot to Kevin. Kevin tries to beat Grealish, back to Sander Berg. As Bergis continues, follow Kevin. The referee says there's been an altercation that's gone on between the two of them, and a free kick's been given. Been given on the edge of the area. There's nowhere near the ball. And Tarkowski is absolutely furious. He's just discussing this with the referee. Just looking at the altercation that took place. There's a sheer pull that's gone on, and the referee's given the free kick on the edge of the area. And it is a very blatant sheer pull. It's well spotted by the referee, and Andy Madley's done a great job there. So easy to just keep an eye on the and the ball, but to watch what's going on in an incident off the ball. Free kick, about 20 yards out, very central to the goal. There's a chip pass for Jordan Pickford. He's trying to set his wall up and determine which way the free kick's likely to go. And Val Jimenez and Harry Wilson both stood over the free kick for now. I'm sure which of the two is likely to be taking this. Everton's ball has just been built by Jordan Pickford. Fulham will lay down behind it with 5 players in the wall. The Fulham nervous in front of the Everton wall, perhaps making jump much tougher. Up and over goes from Jimenez, but he doesn't make it over. He's blocked instead. Falls back to Tete, whose shot's blocked as well. Falls out to Session. You're out to the left-hand side for Iwobi, who's up against Heroic Fulham. Sends back towards the halfway line, flipped this time by Heroic Fulham. And a free kick's been given against Everton. About, let's say, about 26 yards out, but to the left-hand side. Ted's back on the ball, and in his arms there, there's a threat there. There's multiple different reasons why the referee could give a free kick, despite Everton saying otherwise. Fulham will have another set piece to take. In a dangerous position, but for a very different angle that is not likely that a shot will be taken from here. Stood over the free kick of Wilson. The left-footed out-swinging option. Sander Berg, the right-footed in-swinging option, with Bassey and Anderson in the box. Jimenez is there towards the back post as well. Alshani bus comes in towards the middle, headed away by Grealish as far as the edge of the area. Ball back into the box and straight to Keith Moore. His direct pass downfield is collected by Tete, and he goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. The plenty of time there. Ben Leonard will allow his Fulham players to regroup. Now to the right-hand side where I will be to chase. Headed away by Michaelenko. Who sides it Jimenez. And away comes Dewsbury Wall, having won this back. Down the left-hand side, he continues his drive forward knee strip this time. And it'll be a free kick against Sasha Lukic, who's already received a yellow card. And Dewsbury Wall is making that very clear to the referee that he's already been booked. Perhaps urging the referee to dismiss Sasha Lukic. James Tarkowski is now discussing with the referee. George Anderson's doing just the same, trying to argue that there shouldn't be another yellow card distributed, or at least not on this occasion. And the decision is no yellow card, but it does ask questions on Sasha Lukic. Stuart is asked warning now after the challenge. Played out left for Grealish. Bus comes in towards the middle, headed on by Tarkowski with Njai at the back post. Brings it back to the edge of the area. Garner's cross in towards the middle. Headed goalward, saves well, pulls back, and he's 1-0 to Everton. He's finished by Tarkowski, and he's been flagged offside again. Everton's second goal so far that's been flagged for offside. Tarkowski most certainly wasn't in an offside position, so he might get it. The header from Barry that was pushed away by Leno. Pushed it straight into the path of Tarkowski, who volley rippled the net. Still look at the replays. Bruce's cross comes in. He's headed towards that post, and again the cross and in from Garner. I'm not sure if he is an onside. I think he's onside. I think we may get a VAR check on this one from Stuart Outwell. I feel like there's an onside scenario. Well, it's been waved away. We'll have the free kick, and it's going to be Everton 0, Fulham 0 as we continue. Everton about 2 goals disallowed. One justly, one I think there's a bit of an odd-3-4 from the hosts. Away goes the goal kick, or the free kick in fact, towards Everton's half, headed away by Tarkowski. Landville put left foot up to the challenge with him and Esh. It'll be a free kick for Everton inside of their own half. And Tarkowski gets this ball across the key. Now Pickford. Put back out to Tarkowski. And back Pickford again, and shows even more frustration that he hasn't got many other options, so he has to go short out to Michael Feed. Now Dewsbury Hall, back to Key. Now Pickford on the edge of his own area. Now Pickford to Tarkowski. Bradford Giant. Brad Boona. Through the middle for Barry. Barry takes this ball away from Anderson, out to the left hand side for Grealish in space. Waits for the support from Michaelenko. No one made by Everton's left back, and inside it goes to Garner Gay. Now back to Garner. And now Keane. That's a Michaelenko. Tackle comes in from Tete, and it's going to be a little throw into Everton. Although Fulham are claiming this throw for themselves. Harry Wilson more particular. He's saying that he feels that he came off of an Everton player last, and the referee Lucevic with Lunchman agrees, and Dibs pulling the throw in on the right hand side. It's taken by Tete, even though there's a second ball on the field at the moment. Tete throws it back to Anderson, all the way back to Leno, and then he puts through the ball out of play, and the referee's allowed the third to continue from where it was. And Olsen, another Fulham throw on the right hand side from the edge of the area. Forced Everton further back. And Everton, of course, full further back. I'm just looking at the offside, and it would appear that when the cross came in from Garner, there were not players offside. The initial plus that came in from Craven, there were multiple Everton players in offside position. So the offside was brought back, the goal was disallowed, and it was due to the initial cross, not the second one. Burn on the left-hand side now for Everton, though, with Michaelenko. People with the edge of the area, players in the box expecting Lumpo into the area. Can Everton snap themselves a goal just before half-time? Lumpo in by Michaelenko towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Anderson. Now equal with the edge of the on the edge of the corner flag. Everton will have another throw-in, and Michaelenko will attempt to do the exact same again with a better result. In towards the near post. Away goal from Dewsbury. Now to Greeley. Can't get his cross in just yet. By this time, Michaelenko's made this run down the left-hand side. Midas brings it to the edge of the area. Lines up Gardner. His efforts blocked. It's bouncing inside the area. Away by Lukic. Only towards the penalty area. Still Empton at the moment. And tackles made by him, and has a chance full of break. Good of it up for Iwobi. He's got supporting bullets that it was all the way through and was in an onside position, but couldn't get the pass over to him. Instead, it's to the left-hand side for Kevin. Kevin's waiting for support out from Sessegnon, but Dewsbury ball whizzing back. He's still up against Sessegnon at the moment. His version box and brought inside. His second tackle wins it back nicely for Everton. A crafty time for the host to pray before half-time. 6 minutes at a time given at the end of this first half. Tarkowski can go towards the halfway line. He's found a gap down his right-hand side. Down he goes towards Hilleman and Jai. He's up a big pass here. The motor printed this back inside. He's fifth. Referee says nothing, and Fulham will come away with the ball. With Anderson now to Lukic. Lukic to Iwobi. Now Sessegnon to his left, goes out to his right instead. And Berg gets this to Lukic, who goes all the way back to Anderson. And then all the way back to Leno, just to the side of the area. Now with Anderson. Anderson back to Leno. Now to Barsky. That's inside to Lukic. Now try Wilby. Pins back on the ball. The tackle's made by Gay. Now to Dewsbury Hall. Now to Grealish on the left. I'm sorry. The supporting cast joining him at the moment, but now he's packed up against Tete. Tries to beat him down the wing. that tackle made by Texade is going to be thrown to Everton on the left-hand side. They're based on how Michaelenko has started with the last two goalies on that left-hand side in these dangerous positions. Could be used as well as a corner. Same procedure will follow. The long blow into the area by Michaelenko. Nobody close in the 6-yard box. Ball in the when Fulham made as soon as he steps up to save his stone. At the moment, Bassi and Tarkovsky are going at it inside of the 6-yard box, and it's not going to end well for these two players. The referee's now trying to separate things, but there's also multiple players in there trying to separate things, so we'll have a halt again before this stone could be taken. Bassi has been called over, as is Tarkovsky. Well, it's Tete gets in front of Tarkovsky, and James Tarkovsky just throws him to the ground. And Bassi has reacted too kindly to this. As Tarkovsky is though straight across to Tete. I think we're going to see a yellow card for James Tarkovsky. And perhaps the exact same for Calvin Bassi. As Tarkovsky comes straight back over to Tete. And the disagreement has continued and will continue as Michaelenko prepares to take a throw into the area again. This time can do so. Way by Anderson. And then he rode Budem. That's Grealish. First comes Dillick to take the deflection. It finds Barry inside the area. Can't get it stopped away. Made stuff from Michaelenko crossing towards the middle. Headed goal was up the crossbar. It is fallen to Irad Fulham. He can't finish it up, but it is eventually turned away. Everton finally have their lead after 2 goals disallowed. The ball was bouncing around inside the area. The long throw from Michaelenko. Anderson's player is only as far as the edge of the area. The cross came back in from Michaelenko towards the back post. The effort hit the crossbar, and it's the Drisha Garnake that pounces on the response after Roy Budem's effort is blocked. His 3rd goal of the season. Drisha Garnake gets himself on the score sheet. It's a good cross from Michaelenko. Just checking if there will be a flag expected. Ended off the crossbar by Tarkovsky, and Roy Budem's effort has been blocked, and it fell straight to Drisha Garnake. And Fulham defensively just looked lost. Tarkovsky had a free header. The effort was blocked by Roy Budem. Then there was 2 Everton players lined up. Michael Keane was there as well to pay to have a shot on goal. And there were no Fulham players surrounding either of them. Anderson got the initial block, but put up with the seconds. And for all their efforts, all their hard work, it's well deserved. Everton 1, Fulham 0 after 49 minutes. So still with a couple of minutes added on. We're into a final minute of the added time, but I expect perhaps a little bit more after the altercation between Calvin Bassi and James Tarkovsky. Now on the right hand side with Tete. He does the ball past Michaelenko. He must have caught him, and Michaelenko's gone down, but he won the tackle there. So going now for Fulham on the right hand side with the more defensive work for Everton before the break. It's a long throw. Fulham out of their own. It's going to be taken by Kelly Tete. In towards the 6-yard box. Ended away and further away by Grealish across the face of goal, and it's that goes over from Sasha Lukachimyan. Bought it on the half volley. Pickford inside the 6-yard box. Best take the goal kick. And the yellow card for the altercation just before the long throw was taken by Everton. One went to James Tarkovsky, one went to Calvin Bassi, so both players have been booked as a result. Pickford takes the goal kick. from right to left, but just the one change. And that is Sasha Lukic, who was booked in the first half, was very close to receiving his second, looking up the challenges. There's been a substitute, and Dust King coming on in fifth place. So I changed there with perhaps Alyssa moving into a more defensive role. And Dustin playing just behind Brown. And Esplin gets him to the wing, though back to Calby Bass. That's it, and with the halfway man's Everton stepping away, still banter to his own half. Now George Anderson. No changes for Everton at the moment. So the lineup is Pickford, John, Tarkovsky, Keane, Michaelenko, Irod, Budem, Gay and Jai, Dewsbury Hall, Grealish and Ferry. Fulham is Leno, Tete, Anderson, Bassi, Sestignon, Baird, Wilson, Wilby, Kevin, Jimenez and Pingham. Now Wilby goes across, bend the ball to Anderson outside of his own area, now to the right hand side with Tete. Inside now for Bird, finds some space down to the right hand side now. There's some space for Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson can make more movement down that right hand side. Has the support there from Just King. Back to Harry Wilson, across the middle it goes, turned away by Pickford on these far as I will be out to the left hand side. Here for Kevin, who's let the ball run, leaving his even offside position. He goes back to Pickford from Ghana, and away it goes first from Craven to the third ball on the left hand side, taken by Sessinger. Up to Bassi. That's I will be. Inside to Anderson, now just pulling inside their own half of it. Step it up, whatever's been said to Marco Silva at the half. He needs to turn this ball and put Fulham's around, because in the first half they're on the back foot. Predominantly Everton domination, their chances being created. It was only a matter of time before they got themselves on this 40 with a goal that counted, having had two this club side. Now to Bassi just on the edge of the area. Get this forward up towards the halfway line. Away it goes through the middle, controlled by Wilson in plenty of space inside of the centre circle. Got support out the right hand side on the edge of the area now. Wilson on to his left foot, takes the deflection over the top, lands on the route to the goal, and it's going to be a corner for Fulham. And immediately starting better in which they did the first half. Short corner goes, so I will be. Helps all the way back towards the halfway line, possessing none. There's one way back to his goal. I'm not quite sure why ball. It's no for a short quarter. He's there, continuing the build of momentum. And it's with Anderson outside of the centre circle now. Run out to the left hand side. Over the top of Kevin. Now to play for throwing to Everton on that right hand side now. And Preston's gonna take it. Got John Hopkins to his left hand side. We use him for support. Soon at the west corner by Fulham as they start to build and create something. On the moment, but therefore perhaps another change when pulled, but it seems to this second half. 10 minutes receiving talk to from one of the Fulham coaches, but it's a time the other big up game is West Ham against Burnley, and that is currently 1-1 as it stands at the moment. Not too much of it. The impact on the league standings here. Everton are the 2 places, 4 places that they won the league. Fulham have made it in 15th place as it is at the moment. But we do have a pause in play. With the ball to mind you is a cross in from Michaelenko. Headed against the crossbar by Tarkovsky. Then Budem's effort was blocked. Fell back to Gay, whose effort was then converted. It makes it 4th and 1-0 scoreline. Very taken now. There's all the way back to Bern Leno. He rolls this out. Judge Anderson will get things back underway with Fulham continuing with 4. Back to Leno. On the edge of the area. Up to Anderson. Now Tete. Now Anderson. Now Amubi. The top into the area of Jimenez. First to excuse this ball possession back to Everton. Now to G's Greenwald out to Grealish. He's rolled down the left-hand side, still finds himself in some space. Tackle made though by Wilson. Still didn't throw it on that left-hand side. Then taken by Michaelenko, who comes forward to do so. First, who's nimble. Has to beat his man down the left-hand side, takes it towards the corner flag, keeps the ball in play. Tackle made by Tete, and then he's gone down, wins a free kick by the corner flag on the right-hand side. And Leno will come across to take this. And it's Fulham clear up towards the halfway line. Well, just throwing in his fourth second half coverage, 5 minutes into the second half. Everton 1, Fulham near this thing scoring as it was at the break. Thank you very much for choosing Fast Start as your unofficial coverage of the Premier League this Saturday afternoon. And those free kick just sails out of play, and it's going to be a throw in for Everton on that left-hand side. And again, Michaelenko will go across the take inside of his own half third. One throw down the line towards Grealish. That's it, gets there and plays it back to his keeper. First time pass from Leno out to the left-hand side to Sessegnon. Tackle made by Njai. That's throwing still on that left-hand side. Fulham, equal with the edge of the area. Sessegnon will be the one to take. And the one comes round Jimenez for support. Over the top it goes, headed back by Jimenez to Sessegnon, and the pressure inside to Anderson. Thins on the ball and plays it back to his keeper. First time pass out onto the right hand side to Tete, who can't keep it in play. You know, it'll be an Everton throwing on the left hand side, equal with the edge of the area. And Fulham back on the back foot. And Michaelenko is done to go into the area as Tarkowski and Keane come forward again. And seeing there as well as the enemy side of the 6-yard box, and it goes all the way through and away by Anderson on the as far as Michaelenko on the edge of the area, still on the left hand side, cross punted towards the back post. Njai plays it back across the middle of Fulham, can't play the lines, and it's converted in the end by Kane at Dewsbury Hall. Fulham, who had started this second half, and the points up again. This could be a third disallowed goal for offside for Everton. We may get a VAR check this time around. Even the two were correct. The cross-runs in, I'm not entirely sure he is in an offside position. You know, it goes all the way through to Njai. Plays it back. When the ball's played back into the middle, Barry is in an offside position, but is he really interfering with play? As he made the run in, and Dewsbury Hall finished it to make it 2-0. And the decision is no goal, so Everton still lead only by the goal to nil. They have a free kick now as the free kick from Leno sees Raul Jimenez moving back from an offside position, so it's free kick to Everton inside their own half. But that's 3 disallowed goals due to offside by Everton so far in this game. Now with Njai on the right hand side. Pulled back inside and into his own half, and be chased down by Don. This goes down by King. Pickford he goes. Good towards Dewsbury Hall. Head the way by Anderson. Tarkowski all the way back. Pickford using his foot, so can't ball up, and it's closed down by Jimenez. Takes it to the edge of his area, and Jimenez still there. Lets to get to the way. It's been chased down by Grealish, away then by Anderson. Towards the halfway line and controlled by Disagarnagay, but hold of possession. And it's out for a Fulham throw-in, taken by Tete, back to Anderson, it goes to Bassi. So that road over the top, it goes to Sessegnon. He's there, Sessegnon tries to get there as well. It's been watched down to play, and well watched down to play for a goal kick. Could be an Everton goal kick, but the pin situation. So when the ball's played back in by Illiman and Njai and turned away by Sessegnon, at that point Sienna Barry was in an offside position. That's why the flag went up. Way by Pickford. Into Fulham's off and the way by Sander Berg. Back into Everton's off, but controlled by Nunes. Now to Anderson. And set over the top to the left-hand side. Then he chased down by Garnham. Gets there ahead of Justin. Plays it back to Pickford. Pickford in his 6-yard box. Team gets there, but gets the ball away only just in time. Now Grealish first plays this ball off for Gay. Now for Grealish again. Towards Barry. Pushed to pieces. Man out to the left-hand side to Dewsbury Hall. Barry continues his run down that left-hand side. Gets the ball back from Dewsbury Hall. Is up against Anderson at the moment. Beansy's man. He's still got Tete alongside him. Elkins in the middle. Can Barry get across in? He gives it his foot and it goes down. And the goal kick is the referee's decision. Barry's holding onto his shoulder. He's down at the moment. And looks to be in a lot of pain. I'm not sure when he lost his footing. So he's dead up against Tete. And completely missed the ball and gone down. He's holding onto his shoulder. And we'll get the physio to come on and check. Everton helped him back to his feet, but when you tried to beat his man, it looked like he'd lost where the ball had done. And he's now back up, still holding onto his shoulder. There's no physio there, but the referee just checking on things has told Barry he's got to leave the field. Apologies, the physio was there with him. He didn't stand with the physio on the side. The commentator's called in. And no plays the short to Anderson on the edge of the area. He's got plenty of space to move it towards the halfway line. Out to Passy. Passy back to his keeper. Now with Leno just outside of the 6-yard box. And back to Anderson. And then Leno. And now Anderson, very dangerous at the moment, can pull him inside of their own half, let alone their own area. And Anderson comes away with the ball. Over the top to the left-hand side. All the way through to King. King gets there and laid on. Garner. Outside of the area. Dribbles this inside past him onto his right foot. Dribbles this across the middle. Plays it to the back post, but it's cleared away before it gets there. It's Michael Engfeld. But it's away by Garner, who received a nudge at the back. But the free kick to Everton inside of their own area. It's kicked to the post will take. Then watching the back from Ting, who felt like he maybe even pulling reserved more than that breakaway. Now another attempt on its way for Fulham. And a light flag change in terms of flankers. Sees Raul Jimenez leave the field. Rodrigo Muniz will come on in his place. And Chipuizi will come on for Harry Wilson is the next change for Fulham. Chipuizi on and Wilson off. That's with Meno. Now I'm missing. Bird. Turns to Guizan. And the moment moves Jack Grealish. And seems to throw in, or actually wins this side of throw in rather. Three. Saying it was to be taken quickly. And let's take it back to Anderson. Now that's down by Barry, gives it to Tete. And then the top to watch Hugo Muniz lays this ball off on the edge of the area. Still a chance at the moment. It's with Muniz. Good save by Pickford. Doesn't quite clear the area. Headed forwards again. Pickford let this go behind. And it'll be a goal kick to Everton. But a good breakaway by Fulham for the moment. And just King playing the ball through the middle for Rodrigo Muniz. Well held up by Muniz first of all, just laid this ball off. Keane was closing down, but couldn't quite stretch her leg out far enough. Garner, but Tarkowski up down by Anderson, and Bird goes all the way back to Leno and out to Anderson. Anderson close to Bassi, so back to Anderson. Towards the halfway line, it goes to Tete. Now Bird. In the middle, some space here for Iwobi. Iwobi venges into Everton. Starfish cross is blocked by Gay, and it's gone out to play for a third on the right hand side as we reach the hour mark. Everton 1, Fulham 0 remains the scoreline. Still 1-1 between West Ham and Burnley. It goes to Anderson and Peseg. Now to Kim. He's pressing towards the middle, goes all the way back towards the back post, ships it over. Gordon Pickford and lands on the roof of the net. The deflection on this way through, and it will be a corner for Fulham on the left hand side. Actually, if Pickford had done a touch to that as they tried to leap it over it. And swinging corner from the left hand side. Taken by Chipuisi. And towards the back post. And down by Tarkowski and held on to by Jordan Pickford inside of the 6-yard box again. The top it goes. Bassi gets it, 2 jumps to the ball. This keeps in place, stop it from going out for a corner. That's about no one Sessignon. Okay, side now, and then all the way across it goes to Leno. Leno out to Anderson. Anderson throws his block, falls back to Leno and picks the ball up on the penalty spot, and Moses out through the middle for Bird. They now to Josh King, who's fouled by Wade Boonen. It's taken quickly, and the referee pulls it back. Taken again quickly. And pulled back again, so the referee can issue a yellow card to Tim Iroid-Buda. The fourth Premier League start of the season. Fassi. For missing. Knows it controlled by Mudet. And Batsu. Side to Armisen. Now Batsu that it's on. Ended away by Tarkowski. And by Big. And that's Tete. Chipuisi. Out to the halfway line at the moment with Fulham. The side beats ball away from Dewsbury Hall, but Goodison wins it back, and there's a chance here for Dewsbury Hall to move forward. But the zip goes backwards with the pass to Tarkowski. Right hand side, it's headed away though with Kroges to Njai. And with Muniz, tries to spread it through, but the clearance is made by Tarkowski towards the halfway line. It's now with Sander Vid. Besides Bassi. Now to the right hand side. William for Ilobe. Tackle made by Tarkowski. Opens Zimmerman and Njai, and the referee pulls this back for a free kick. Despite Njai continuing to press forward. Was it pulls it back to him, there was no advantage. It'll be a free kick now to Everton from just outside of the centre circle, east side of their own half. Forward it goes towards Justin. Still driving forward. He's got his side of multiple Everton players. Tries to tiptoe his way through. He is tripped. He's got the ball all the way through. Pickford gets there and collects the ball, but the referee throws away the free kick claims that King wanted after a tackle from Tarkowski. And Tarkowski. Lost to Teague. And now to Michaelenko. It's time touched by Barry. And it's come to nobody. And it's has a play for a throw for Fulham. Taken by Tete. Back into his own half for Anderson. Across the middle now for Big. Going out to the left hand side. The King. King into his own half for Bassey. Now Anderson. Anderson over the top. And to space here, King compared to Thomas, it's almost over now to play, and now he's Burton. This is just out right. Mr. will go over the fullback. There's throwing soon Everton on the left hand side, inside their own mark. And they'll make their first change of the afternoon. I think the moisture is issuing some last instructions as we will see a departure from the game for Irelek Boonen. He's just received a yellow card. Who's going to be replaced by Merlin Rowe. Into Red Booten. And a good tackle shortly after. It wasn't something that was necessarily in danger of being sent off, but with a yellow card, you can never do juju, especially with a one-goal lead. Now Bassey. So they want inside the Tete. Dusty Bassey. See over the top for Tom by Muniz. He handed all the way back by Tarkowski before he went into the path of King. Picked it. He throws the ball at the edge of the 6-yard box. Couldn't pick the ball up, but instead passed it just out to Tarkowski anyway. Tackle made from Garner. Red comes away with the ball. Blue ball for Muniz, and it's one back by Everton. Fed along with Rod. Alan Jai. Side for disregard again. Now for Barry. Barry goes forward even further. Tries to hit back through to Dadman. That's intercepted by Tete. Out to the left hand side now though with Grealish. Reduce bring more there for support. Gives it to Michaelenko instead by the touchline. Plus comes in towards the middle, headed away by Anderson. Back towards Michaelenko, getting away by Tete. Unfired blood further forward, but Fulham still under pressure at the moment. It's now with Dewsbury Hall. Time when pulling out the possession lead. It's the Anderson towards with the button. This goes now to Darner. Right for Njai. Tries to beat his man and get the cross in, but the tackle was made. And he's gone behind for another Everton corner. Out on the right hand side, so expect either Grealish or Dewsbury Hall. Perhaps Dewsbury Hall will be the one to go across and take it. And Grealish has stayed and lurks around the edge of the area. But that's in the middle. Corner number 3 for Everton. Moving around, it's a sharp pass at the moment. He goes towards the middle, away by Anderson as far as Gay. Out to the left hand side to Grealish, just too much on it. Grealish will keep it in play, but he's up against viewers at the moment. And you get the cross in. He's defended by multiple former players. There sits Gay in the end. Can't make the passage to the box due to the offside. That being set, it's on for his left foot and sends the effort wide. There'll be a Fulham goal kick as we enter into the final 20 minutes of regular time at the end of the game. Fulham somehow, and could be very grateful and appreciative, they are still only 1 goal behind Everton. this game could very much have been out of sight by now. David was preparing perhaps other changes to be made. Played out to his left now to Bassi. Bassi up towards the halfway line. Plays it back across the middle. Very dangerous. Three balls there. It's won back by Big. Through the middle now. Anderson. Back to Leno. Leno out to Bassi on the edge of the area on the left. Bassi through the middle. Finds some space here for King. I think Craven out left for Djibouti. When Shai gets there first. And we decided to throw it on the right. Whilst Fulham are trying to play possession football at the back, they're struggling to get the ball out from the back. For Ghana and a throw in on the right. Behind Day to the left hand side. Was breathing. Inside the Jews breathing ball. There by Keane to the right hand side. Into space here for Njai. Quite those up now though, and now plenty of space and within an offside position. Looked slightly puzzled towards the linesman once the whistle had gone. From Bassi to Anderson. Near the middle, first time. Ball by Rodrigo Nunes, goes all the way through to Jordan Pickford. He will waste some time inside of his area, will wait ready for pressure. And then passes just out to Tarkowski, who does the exact same thing. To the left, Kimi. And Pickford. Okay. Tarkowski. Hablé. Field held up by Barry, just behind. Ball out left for Grudet. Third down and down on the left hand side. Space here for goal. Can he get a cross in? There's not many options in the middle. His ball continues. Drag this back. Anderson's there. Plays it to Tete. Pulling escape again, but the ball's still on the edge of the areas. The Dewsbury Hall. Now to Drelif. He's open short again. Out to Keane. Now with Gay. It's a Barry. Back towards Gay that the clearance is made. The two and Jay on the right hand side. Side to Gay. As the return pass, but he takes him knock. Skeegan in plain plays it to Dana. And then it's Gay. Plus one small. And Barry. Shot lines it for a roll that his efforts plots. The ball's to Everton on the edge of the area now. He's doing ball. Tuned in. Left hand side. With Montelenko. And if he's over master tuning. Do you never know it? Well, I guess the dart today. Stay don't any enjoy to right using now. And first setting them starts the forward now. Barry. Have gone in. Dog cues from the middle. There's this few yards further forward towards Roll. On the left hand side, the Grealish. And Michaelenko. Crossing up top two, gives it to Gay, back to Grealish. Now Dewsbury Hall, the shot lines up, takes it in deflection on his way through, or did it? Referee says no, it'll be a goal kick to Fulham. And Dewsbury Hall's first touch as he turned on the pole. Cameron had thrown themselves in. Opened in that big gap forward. It won't be a Fulham goal kick as Adama Traore preps and ready for coming on. I think he's going to come on for Rodrigo Muniz, who has left the field and walked straight down the tunnel. I'm not sure if that is frustration, if that is a tactical decision, or what the decision-making process is there, but Rodrigo Muniz has come off. Jordi after coming on, and Raul Jimenez. Monday's place is Adama Traore. But just Kim perhaps playing as the lone striker now. I see back inside to Anderson. To Bassi. Then Anderson. Now Baird. Open hip on the right. They decide to Anderson, then out to Bassi. Bassi's got even more space on his left-hand side now. Through the middle for King. Back to Bassi. Now Anderson. Pitches play over to the right-hand side. Moved out more by Adama Traore, at least Michaelenko. Then towards the corner flag. Fulham playing those back towards his right back Tete. Tete's clash comes in. Third behind for another Fulham corner. Up on the right-hand side. Sanfields then for the visitors. So that's 14 minutes now. West Ham have taken a 2-1 lead against Burnley. Tanasuke scoring a goal. Has thumbed in, headed away. Further away into Fulham's half. It's chased behind by Sesson. Then there's all the way back to his keeper. And again with Leno on the edge of the area. And it's tense at third, turned away by Toffees. Brought down inside of his own half now. Big Bassi. Puff to Anderson. Anderson now to Awobi. Out left. Wants let his way all the way through. Evan couldn't get there. So we've turned past down the line now. Push it back to Berg. Now Awobi. And Foyora. Where can't get a tough West. Go back inside. Still with Fulham at the moment on the edge of the area. Out to Kevin. Kevin finds some space in the middle. Pulled back. No one's there. And Everton pull away with it. Gay to the right hand side. Some space here. Green Giant. And Jack plays it all the way down the line towards the run that's been made by Barry. But Bassi gets that pace to the side of his own half. Dispossesses and plays it forward to Iwobi. Oh, this pass been straight back to him. Now with Baird. Big out right. Now with Traore. Side. And Wisdom first comes in. It's played away and further away. Still in on the right hand side. Now for Everton. For Fulham. As it's into the change now for Everton. And it's one that I think has been long overdue. Geno Barry has been struggling. And he's now been substituted for Beto. Ito coming on for Barry. Is your change. What up the last 10 minutes. But Everton to hold on. Or Fulham to try and steal a point, if not more. Still plenty of time to do so. Tete throws this back to Anderson. Across the middle it goes now to Bassi. Outside of the centre circle. With no pressure. Across to Baird. Baird now to King. Out left. It's a full pass and it goes straight to Ivan and Njai, who plays it back to Garner. Garner's close. Blocked until they prone to Everton equal with the edge of the area. On the right hand side, inside of their own half. On that, Eastern wants to take it. On way down. One of those headed inside by Beto, chased down by G3 Hall, headed away, and then Beto's going to keep chasing this down the right hand side. Takes it past Bassi, takes it into the area. Bassi's made up good ground, and Beto still in possession, goes back to Njai, and towards the corner, and actual roll this across it. He's blocked it, he goes behind. Out of play. Sessington was hoping it had gone out for a throwing, but it's going to be a corner to Everton out on that right hand side. people coming up from the back. Tarkowski's in there, Keane's in there at the moment as well. Jude Bringall on the right hand side of the left, James Van Den Porter on his way. And Spencer on options in the middle. And it goes towards the near post, headed by Michael Keane over the outstretched hand of Bernd Leno to make it Everton 2, Fulham 0. This one will stand. And whilst Fulham have been pressing to try and get themselves back into the game, all the hard work has been undone by an in-swinging Porter from the Kiernan Dewsbury Hall on the right-hand side. And Keane, who led highest, just flicked this on past the outpost hand of Bernd Leno. It's his second goal in the Premier League this season. In at the near post. Flicking it over towards the far post. It's been down to the positioning there of Leno. It was perfectly placed. He bounced it off the underside of the bar. It took the slightest of touches, which wouldn't have changed the direction of it. It would make it even more difficult for the goalkeeper to reach it. 8-1 minutes got at Goodison Park. Everton 2, Fulham 0. And Fulham, for the third time today, will get things back underway for us. With an even steeper hill to climb if they're to get anything out of this game now. The referee just explaining the decision to George Manderson. Whatever that decision, whatever that conversation may include, may not necessarily be towards that goal being scored. He's got his shoulder with Michael Keane. That's where the complaint from George Anderson's come from, but the referees are giving the ball, as is VAR, and Everton will get possession back immediately. He's giving it back though to Sander Berg, and now it's out to the left hand side with King. King through the middle, can't get Duke the Muniz. Is behind by Tarkowski. Off the back of Justin. And it will be an Everton goal kick. With maybe a couple of changes more on the way by David Moyes. By Everton, there are still a few options on there. Tyler Dibble, of course. Ryan McNeil, both wing options. Jake O'Brien's been featured quite heavily in Everton's opening 10 games of the season so far. Throwing those back to Leno on the edge of his own area. And with this ball up from under his feet, out to the right hand side, headed away by T. And Rios brings us down, but it's only the Chukwueze. Owned down and Dole. King then gets there. Tries to beat his man. Slight nudge at the back. Referee gives a penalty for them. Simply with the ball on the right hand side. It's now within Jai. Let's play this inside by Wilby's now. He's still on the second attempt. He's going to pass off, and it's fairly with roll. Moore passes this to Dewsbury Moore. Now back to Tarkowski. And Dewsbury ball now gone. Arnold back to the side to Beto. Beto turns on the ball but can't get away from his marker. Full way back. It's out good on the trail around the right hand side. Mouth through the middle. Still a chance for Fulham on the edge of the area. Can't get the shot away. Out to the left hand side. Called Kevin. Kevin's first touch at but there's the ball back. It's it further down the line. Out to the edge of the area now with Berg. Berg out to throw around the right hand side. Second goal Widgeon. Cleared away again by Pickford and further away by Mykolenko, and Everton would stand more Fulham pressure. So it's a goal now. This last 5 minutes could really help Fulham. Otherwise, that momentum pursuit did dwindling further by the seconds. Had to Kevin. Beasley ran down the left hand side. So it makes up Brown, and then Kevin hacks away the ankles of Inchine. It will be a free kick to Everton inside their own half. Equal with penalty spot. Another challenge for Fulham, goes back in. Now Pickford. There goes upfield. They're down by Anderson. Only as far as John. Inside of Fulham's half at the moment. Out to the right hand side to Barner. First time ball across the middle, and he's nearly turned into his own goal by Anderson. Instead he's turned behind, and Everton will have their 5th quarter of the afternoon. And they'll be out on the right hand side. And they just scored from a very similar set piece. Anthony Portman on his way from the right hand side to Dewsbury Hall. And Keane in the middle, and towards Keane it goes. It's punched away. Front hand from Leno. That's Njai. Throw back down the line. Starts up, comes in from Bassine. It's going to be a throw into Everton. Out on the right hand side. Been known as the Tabers. Stephen Fulham defensively. 4 minutes of regular time left to be played, plus any added time, and it's to be given at the end. Fulham with the first rolls of the dice bring on more changes, and we'll see Devin leaving the field. And on in his place is Emil Smith-Rowe. Next question is what you're expecting from Slidmo at this point. Heard the footballer, him from by Lopton. The bench has proved it in the past, but less than 4 minutes to go, and a 2-goal deficit might be a little bit too late. It's been introducing Smith-Rowe and expecting huge outcomes. Will the build-up work? Everton fizzles out on the right-hand side. To Iwobi, out to the right-hand side now, laid off by King. Against the middle, but back by Roll, and he goes back to Tarkovsky inside of his own half. Through the middle, back to Tarkovsky again. This was across to Hugh. Yeah, out to Michael Enker. That's inside. Well, Dewsbury Hall gets the ball back immediately, switches this out right for Njai. Njai by the to find at the moment up against Sessignon. To the edge of the area was better. They're up some uphill and co again. Weapons cuss it, and in goes the pass to Dana. But I can get it cuss in, but it's away by Bassine's gone is back to his feet. This is time for the attempt by Sessignon to give another throw into Everton on the right hand side. Last minute and a half. 6 minutes and a half on regular time before added time is added on, and the Everton supporters are in a cheer at the moment. If well deserved, as they will see the departure of Kiernan at Dewsbury Hall, but the assist in the second goal. They're big parts in getting the first on the score sheet as well. Here is he's being replaced by. He's going to be replaced by Jake O'Brien. And Brian Clapp's going into the right back role. He's got to move back up into midfield, which is where he's more familiar. Done played by O'Brien. This is first input into the game. That's all the way through. He goes to the edge of the area now with Idrissa got the game brought down and will stay down. Hold on to his ankle area. Perhaps waste a little bit more time heading towards the added time at the end of the game. Seems look too malicious. Stood over his free kick at the moment, and Garner is one of them. Jay stood in with DeVoy. Right, and then Penn stood over there at the moment. Preparation fine to it and Fulham off the expectation. And away he steps. So you're just O'Brien now. That's why just gone, and now O'Brien steps away into the wall as well. He's on the left-hand side, is looking at it. Well, he's in the middle. Finds Everton is in the middle. Everybody back in Fulham at the moment. Yeah, Ghana goes solo and over the bar and over the net into the stands. That's it. That's the over the top picked on by King. From dead there. It's back to his goalkeeper. 6 minutes added time at the end of the second half, similar to what it was at the end of the first, and the top end of the way. Now we've been Jai. Now better. Malfland. Now O'Brien. It's men down the right hand side, cross comes in towards the middle, and it's hemmed away before he does to better. Greenish returns in it, but thought he was passing the ball to O'Brien. Then prepared to be doing 7 as a toasted, Village of Breakers. First of all, beats his man, but then his Toffees for the set piece. Just sorted out what needs to be sorted at the back. Very strong performance from him. Both him and Keane seem to have built quite strong chemistry throughout this season. There's 2 centre halves that started every game for Everton in the Premier League this season. And dealt with everything that has come their way, be it not much, from created too much, but Pickford and the 2 centre backs have been exceptionally assuring that there are no play for Everton. For the visitors, as the ball over towards the flag post, the flag goes up saying that Adama Ferrari is in an offside position. There will be a free kick to Everton. Referee stepped it away from the situation as Fulham fans are already leaving the stadium. They've seen enough. Frustration continues to go for Marco Silva and for this Fulham side that they do remain in 15th place, but as I love it, barely losing by 3 goals to 1, and with West Ham leading by 3 goals to 1. It does mean that gap now sits at just 1 point between Fulham and a place in the drop zone. Note also that Nottingham Forest could go up to 9 points with a win, which means from second bottom, there's still 2 points separating them and Fulham. They're the greatest start to a Premier League season. First convert to take the goal kickers. Take his turn in doing so. We've played this out to the left-hand side, and the referee indicated that it's going to be a corner for Everton right at the end. We've all not on the field, so Grealish goes across to take it. Goodison again in the box. Fulham Tarkovsky there. And towards the middle. Headed by was Sibchar. Watson behind for another Everton corner. Well, then as the Toffees lowers the lines, then this is surprise. This Beto jumped up before the ball. I assume Fulham thought the ball had come off on last. We're halfway through the 6 minutes of added time now, and it's Garner's turn to take this corner. Wisdom taking an out swinging corner from that right hand side. Forced to penalty spike those through everybody. It's with Grealish at the back post, sends a right foot effort goalwards and held on to inside the 6-yard box by Byrne Leonard. Distribution goes quick, deep into Everton's half. Grealish trying to get back there on the left hand side, but it's dealt with well by Michaelenko, and it will be a throw into Fulham on the right hand side. And those down the line for Tom by Traore, nobody's there. And so it's to Everton, and again no rush by Michaelenko to go across and take it. Those down the line towards Grealish. Here's the sound. Lots of free kick, waved away again by the referee. Just a simple shake of the head to explain that's not but to be given in his favour. Help it out right to Traore. There was this inside. Made one tackle and two and collides in a third. The referee's given a free kick in Fulham's favour side as the centre circle. I think it was Njai who went into the tackle. Farrell is to the cross from right to left with decent multiple plays, but when they could have been, there's Inman Njai who reversed them down. At his speed now though. Slade made it into a more attacking position to an outcome saying a free kick. He's played towards Flatwody. Now it's Croy or Ray, but Michael Enco reads it well. Left hand side. The tackle comes in from Anderson. It'll be a throw into Everton now on the left hand side again. Back from Michael Enco, Key. Plus the Tarkovsky that's up and behind O'Brien. It's good. They're throwing out to Fulham. Just to put to the technical area. Still a bit of urgency about this Fulham side. Mayfield can get something out of it, but looking at the time it's all but done. Well, don't play themselves 2 goals in such a short space of time. Just let Anderson outside with the centre circle in his own half of the moment. Now into the middle for Sanderberg, and there goes the full-time whistle. It has been a very dominant performance from Everton. David Moyes' side. There's plenty of positive to take from it. A discarded case scored just before the half-time, and Michael Keane scored just after half-time. The 2 goals that really separated these 2 sides. Fulham did start the second half better than the 2 teams. Marco Silva has back in, manager depleted. Just how much left is his time inside the dugout for Fulham. He has finished those big boys in favour of the hosts. Everton 2. Fulham on the left-hand side, taken by Sessinger. Up to Batsy. That's I will be. Inside to Anderson, now just pulling inside their own half of it. Step it up, whatever's been said to Marco Silva at the half. Needs to turn this Fulham performance around, because in the first half they're on the back foot. Predominantly Everton domination, their chances being created. It was only a matter of time before they got themselves on this 40 with a goal that counted, having had two this club side. Now to Bassey just on the edge of the area. Take this forward up towards the halfway line. Away it goes through the middle, controlled by Wilson in plenty of space inside of the centre circles. Got support out the right hand side on the edge of the area now. Wilson on to his left foot, takes the deflection over the top, lands on the route to the goal, and it's going to be a corner for Fulham. And immediately starting better in which they did the first half. Short corner goes, so I will be. Helps all the way back towards the halfway line, possessing none. There's one way back to his goal. I'm not quite sure why it's no for a short quarter. He's there continuing the build of momentum. And it's with Anderson outside of the centre circle now. Run out to the left hand side. Over the top of Kevin. Now to play for throwing to Everton on that right hand side now. And Preston's gonna take it. John Hopkins to his left hand side, we use him for support. Soon that the west corner by Fulham as they start to build and create something. And on the moment, therefore perhaps another change going forward. 5 minutes into this second half. Temming used to see him talk to from one of the Fulham coaches. By the touchline, the other 3 o'clock game is West Ham against Burnley, and that is currently 1-1 as it stands at the moment. Not too much of an impact on the league standings here. Everton are the 2 places, 4 places that they won the league. Fulham are made in 15th place as it is at the moment. We do have a pause in play. Goal to remind you is a plus in from Michaelenko, headed against crossbar by Tarkowski. Then Budim's effort was blocked, fell back to Gay, whose effort was then converted. It makes it 4th and 1-0 scoreline. Very taken now. There's all the way back to Bernd Leno. He rolls this out. Judge Anderson will get things back underway with Fulham continuing with 4. Back to Leno. On the edge of the area. That's Anderson. Now Tete. Now Anderson. Now Amubi. Tete over the top into the area of Jimenez. First to excuse this ball possession back to Everton. Now to G3 all out to Grealish. He's rolled down the left hand side. Still finds himself in some space. Tackle made though by Wilson. Still didn't throw it on that left hand side. Then taken by Michaelenko, who comes forward to do so. First, who's nimble. Has to beat his man down the left hand side, takes it towards the corner flag, keeps ball in play. Tackle made by Tete, and then he's gone down, wins a free kick by the corner flag on the right hand side. Then Leno will come across to take this. And it's Fulham clear up towards the halfway line. Well, just joining us for second half coverage. 5 minutes into the second half. Everton 1, Fulham near. This thing scoring as it was at the break. Thank you very much for choosing Fast Start as your unofficial coverage of the Premier League this Saturday afternoon. And those free kick just sails out to play, and it's going to be a throw in for Everton on that left hand side. And again, Michaelenko will go across the take inside of his own half third. One throw down the line towards Grealish. That's he gets there and plays it back through Steeper. First time pass from Leno out to the left hand side for Sessegnon. Tackle made by Njine. Throwing still on that left hand side. Fulham, equal with the edge of the area. Sessegnon will be the one to take. And the one comes round Jimenez for support. Over the top it goes, headed back by Jimenez to Sessegnon, under pressure inside to Anderson. Thins on the ball and plays it back to his keeper. First time pass out onto the right hand side. That's how you can't keep it in play. You know, it'll be an Everton throwing on the left hand side, equal with the edge of the area. And Fulham back on the back foot. And Armakalenko is done to go into the area as Tarkowski and Keane come forward again. And seeing there as well as the enemy side of the 6-yard box, and it goes all the way through and away by Anderson on the as far as Michaelenko on the edge of the area, still on the left hand side, cross punting towards the back post. Njai plays it back across the middle of Fulham, can't play the lines, and it's converted in the end by Kane at Dewsbury Hall. Fulham, who had started the second half, and the points up again. This could be a third disallowed goal for offside for Everton. We may get a VAR check this time around. Even the two were correct. The cross runs in. I'm not entirely sure he is in an offside position. You know, it goes all the way through to Njai. Plays it back. When the ball's played back into the middle, Barry is in an offside position, but is he really interfering with play? As he made the run in, and Dewsbury Hall finished it to make it 2-0. And the decision is no goal, so Everton still lead only by the goal to nil. They have a free kick now as the free kick from Leno sees Raul Jimenez moving back from an offside position, so it's free kick Everton to each side their own half. But that's 3 disallowed goals due to offside by Everton so far in this game. Now with Njai on the right hand side. Pulled back inside and into his own half, and be chased down by Garner. This goes down by King. Pickford he goes. Good towards Dewsbury Hall. Head the way by Anderson. Tarkowski all the way back. Pickford using his foot, so can't ball up, and it's closed down by Jimenez. Takes it to the edge of his area, and Jimenez still there. Let's get to the way. It's been chased down by Grealish, away then by Anderson. Towards the halfway line and controlled by Disagarnagay, but okay. Hold of possession. And it's out for a Fulham throw-in, taken by Tete, back to Anderson, it goes to Bassi. After that run over the top, it goes to Sessegnon. He's there. Sessegnon tries to get there as well. It's been watched down to play, and well watched down to play for a goal kick. Could be an Everton goal kick, but the pin situation. So when the ball's played back in by Illiman and Njai and turned away by Sessegnon, at that point, Sienna Barry was in an offside position. That's why the flag went up. Way by Pickford. Into Fulham's half, and away by Sander Berg. Back into Everton's half, but controlled by Jimenez. Now to Anderson. And set over the top to the left hand side, then be chased down by Garner. Gets there ahead of Josh King. Plays it back to Pickford. Pickford in his 6-yard box. Team gets there, but gets the ball away only just in time. Now Grealish first plays this ball off for Gay. Now for Grealish again. Towards Barry, pushed to pieces, man out to the left hand side to Dewsbury Hall. Barry continues his run down that left hand side. Gets the ball back from Dewsbury Hall. He's up against Anderson at the moment. Beans his man. He's still got Tete alongside him. Options in the middle. Can Barry get across in? He is, and it's fitted and goes down. And the goal pick is the referee's decision. Barry's holding on to his shoulder. He's down at the moment. And looks to be in a lot of pain. I'm not sure when he lost his footing. So he's done up against Tete and completely missed the ball and gone down. He's holding on to his shoulder. And we'll let the physio to come on and check. Everton helped him back to his feet, but when he tried to beat his man, it looked like he'd lost where the ball had gone. Oh, he's now backward, stolen onto his shoulder. And Crizio there, but the referee just checking on things has told Barry he's got to leave the field. Well, it is the physio was there with him. They don't stand with the physio on the side. As Fulham Taylor's told him. I know plays of short to Anderson on the edge of the area. He's got plenty of space to move it towards the halfway line. Out to Bassi. Bassi back to his keeper. Now with Leno just outside of the 6-yard box. And back to Anderson. Then Leno. And now Anderson, very dangerous at the moment, to pull him inside of their own half, let alone their own area. And Anderson comes away with the ball. Over the top to the left hand side. All the way through to King. King gets there and laid on. Garner outside of the area. Dribbles this inside, passes him onto his right foot. Does this across the middle. Plays it to the back post, but it's cleared away before it gets there. It's Michael Engfeld. But Jones away by Garner, who received a nudge at the back. But the free kick to Everton inside of their own area. It's kicked to the post will take. Then Lodge in the back from Ting, who felt like maybe even pulling the zone more from that breakaway. Now another attempt on its way for Fulham. And a like change in terms of flankers. Sees Raul Jimenez leave the field. Rodrigo Muniz will come on in his place. And Chipuizi will come on for Harry Wilson is the next change for Fulham. Chipuizi on and Wilson off. That's with Mano. Now I'm missing. Bird. Turns to Guizin. And the moment moves Jack Grealish. And thieves a throw in, or actually wins this side of throw in rather. Three. Saying it was to be taken quickly. And let's take it back to Anderson. Now that's down by Barry, gives it to Tete. And then the top towards Hugo Muniz, lays this ball off on the edge of the area. Still a chance at the moment. It's with Muniz, good save by Pickford. Doesn't quite clear the area, headed goal, which again Pickford let this go behind. And it'll be a goal kick to Everton, but a good breakaway by Fulham for the moment. And it's just King playing the ball through the middle for Rodrigo Muniz. Unheld up by Muniz first of all, just laid this ball off. Keane was closing him down, but couldn't quite stretch your leg out far enough. Now Garner. Quite Tarkovsky. Up down by Anderson, and Bird goes all the way back to Leno. And out to Anderson. Anderson are close to Bassi. So back to Anderson. Towards the halfway line, it goes to Tete. Now Bird. Back in the middle. Some space here for Iwobi. Iwobi ventures into Everton. Starfish crosses blocked by Gay, and it's gone out to play for a throw-in on the right-hand side as we reach the hour mark. Everton 1, Fulham 0 remains the scoreline. Still 1-1 between West Ham and Burnley. It goes to Anderson. And Tete. Now to King. He's in towards the middle, goes all the way back towards the back post, ships it over. Gordon Pickford and lands on the roof of the net. The deflection on its way through, and it will be a corner for Fulham on the left-hand side. Actually, Pickford had done that as they tried to leap over it. And swinging corner from the left-hand side. And taken by Chipuisi. And towards the back post. And down by Tarkowski, and held on to by Jordan Pickford inside of the 6-yard box again. The top it goes, Bassi gets a touch onto the ball. This keeps in place, stop it from going out for a corner. That's about Noan Sessignon. Okay, side now, and all the way across it goes to Leno. Leno out to Anderson. Anderson throws his block, falls back to Leno and picks the ball up on the penalty spot and rolls it out through the middle for Bird. Played now to Josh King, who's fouled by Wade Boonen. It's taken quickly and the referee pulls it back. Take it again quickly. And pulled back again so the referee can issue a yellow card to Tim Iroid-Buda. The fourth Premier League start of the season. Fasting. Formlison. Those have been controlled by Mudet. And Batsu. Side to Armisen. There are Basio that it's on. Handed away by Tarkowski. And by Big. And that's Tete. Chipuisi. Onto the halfway line at the moment with Fulham. The only side beats ball away from Dewsbury Hall. But Boonen wins it back, and there's a chance here for Dewsbury Hall to move forward. But the zip goes backwards with the pass to Tarkowski. Right hand side, it's headed away though with Kroges to Njai. And with Muniz, tries to spread it through, but the clearance is made by Tarkowski up towards the halfway line. It's now Alexander Vid. Besides Bassi. Out to the right hand side. William for Ilobe. Tackle made by Tarkowski. Away from Zimmerman and Njai, and the referee pulls this back for a free kick. Despite Njai continuing to press forward. Was it pulls it back to him, there was no advantage. It'll be a free kick now to Everton from just outside of the centre circle, east side of their own half. Forward it goes towards Justin. Justin driving forward. He's got inside of multiple Everton players. Tries to tiptoe his way through. He is tripped. He's got the ball all the way through. Pickford gets there and collects the ball, but the referee throws away the free kick claims that King wanted after a tackle from Tarkowski. And Tarkowski. Lost to Teague. And now to Michaelenko. It's time touched by Barry. It's done to nobody. And it tells the play for a throw for Fulham. Taken by Tete. Back into his own half for Anderson. Across the middle now for Big. Going out to the left hand side. The King. King into down half of Bassi. Now Anderson. Anderson over the top. And to space it. King prepared to down as it's almost over now to play. And now he's Burnett. This is just out right. And this one will go over the fullback. There's throwing soon Everton on the left hand side. Inside of their own mark. And they'll make their first change of the afternoon. I think the moisture is issuing some lasting restrictions, as we will see a departure from the game for hero like Fulham. He's just received a yellow card. Who's going to be replaced by Merlin Rowe. Into Red Fulham. They get tackled shortly after. It wasn't something that was necessarily in danger of being sent off, but with a yellow card you can never do too sure, especially with a 1-goal lead. Now Bassi. So they once inside the Tete. Dusty Bassi. See over the top, put on by Muniz. He handed all the way back by Tarkovsky before it went into the path of King. Pickford. It throws the ball at the edge of the 6-yard box. Couldn't pick the ball up, but instead passes it out to Tarkovsky anyway. Tackle made from Garner. Red comes away with the ball. Blue ball for Muniz, and it's won back by Everton. Fed along with Rod. Alan Jai. Side for this is gone again now for Barry. Barry goes forward even further, tries to get back through to Dadman, that's intercepted by Tete. Out to the left hand side now though with Grealish. Reduce bring more there for support, gives it to Michaelenko instead by the touchline. Cross comes in towards the middle, headed away by Anderson, back towards Michaelenko, getting away by Tete. On 5-yard further forward, but Fulham still under pressure at the moment. It's now a 2-3 hold. Time when pulling out the possession, it's the Anderson towards with the button. This goes now to Darner. Right for Njai. That tries to beat his man and get the cross in, but the tackle was made. And it's gone behind for another Everton corner. Out on the right hand side, so expect either Grealish or Dewsbury, or perhaps Dewsbury Hall will be the one to go across and take it. I know Grealish has stayed and lurks around the edge of the area. But that's in the middle. Corner number 3 for Everton. Only around it's a sharp box at the moment. He goes towards the middle, away by Anderson as far as Gay. Out to the left hand side to Grealish, just too much on it. Grealish will keep it in play, but he's up against viewers at the moment. And you get the cross in. He's defended by multiple former players. There sits Gay in the end. Can't make the pass to the box due to the offside. That being set, it's on for his left foot and sends the effort wide. There'll be a Fulham goal kick as we enter into the final 20 minutes of regular time at the end of the game. Fulham somehow, and could be very grateful and appreciative that they are still only 1 goal behind Everton. So this game could very much have been out of sight.